notes for this chapter because mine, I tak tahulah, punya PowerPoint tu tak boleh open, but it's okay, sama je content dia. Wait kita tengok how many students, 80 students, okay lah, we can start. Let me record the session first. Oh, dah record dah, okay. Pantas korang ni. Okay, so this is the first chapter of ISP610, which is Introduction to Data Analytics. So we can see that, okay, these are the things that will be covered for this first chapter. So at the end of this lesson, you should know about the types of data, and then the value of data in the present and also future, the importance of analytics, okay, in relation to the value of the data, and then the four types of analytics. I think Dr. Rohaila did not cover in this chapter, tapi ada dalam chapter 4 tak salah saya, ke chapter 2 macam tu. Okay, but tak apa, I will tell you the four types of analytics, and then we have the analytics method, the people involved in business data analytics, the role, your role in business data analytics, the skills that you need to have in order for you to be in this business data analytics, and also the question that usually we need to ask our customers in order for us to provide the solution. Okay, first one, the type of data. Okay, basically, the type of data, if you Google, okay, the type of data, they will give you either 2 types or 3 types of data. Okay, if 2 types of data, it will only categorize it into structured and also unstructured. Okay, but some they have they put another category of data where apa kata dia create the semi-structured. So this semi-structured is actually part of this unstructured data. Okay, but if we look at the type of data in detail, there are 4 types of data. First is structured, and then we have semi-structured, quasi-structured, and also unstructured. Okay, so structured is a data where you contain a defined data type or a format or structure, any format in a table. Okay, for example, we have the transaction data, we have the all Excel sheet, database, whatever lah yang dalam bentuk table. While for semi-structured, okay, is a textual data files. For example, we have XML, and then kalau HTML, whatever from the websites that has tagging, okay, that we can differentiate. Okay, this is the head, the body, dia adalah all the taggings kan kalau you buka dalam XML data files tu. While for quasi structured, okay, it's more on the textual data yang melibatkan streaming. Okay, usually they will combine the semi-structured and quasi-structured together. They name it as a structured data. Tapi in this case, kita boleh pecahkan lagi. Okay, so contoh macam kalau you ada Twitter data tu, it can falls under quasi-structured. While unstructured will refer to the data that has no format at all. Okay, there's no data type, there's no format or structure. So the example of unstructured ni, macam contoh if you have the documents, the PDF, image, video, audio, everything. Okay, so if we look at the real scenario, okay, at the recent scenario, we have our data is in unstructured format. Okay, yes, we can find the structured data, but most of the data are from the unstructured. So it's either semi, it's either quasi, or unstructured lah. Okay, so we have the example there where in one scenario we can have all types of data. Okay, so let's look at the example. Say that you have a typical RDBMS which stores call logs for support call center. So here you may have structured data such as date timestamps, and then we have machine types, problem type, operating system, which were probably entered by the support desk person from a pull down menu GUI. Okay, that one we can say that it is a structured lah kan, sebab dia akan in a table form. So you will have columns and rows. And then you can also have the unstructured or semi-structured data where it can be in a call log information based on the ticket. So machine punya data lah yang ni. And you might also have the unstructured data where the data can be in the voice log, okay, recorded conversation between the customer and also the call center staff, or the audio transcript, okay. And this is the example for the structured data for the previous case study. Okay, call log. We can see that we have the type, date, time, user, number, name, duration, line. All is tabulated in a table. So this one is the apa nama? We can see that this is the transcript. Okay, the call log punya transcript, okay, the conversation between the call center and also the customer. Ini apa tadi saya cakap? This one can falls under unstructured. Okay. And ini kalau you tengok lah in details. So they put the structured, the differences between these four types of data. So you must able to differentiate. Okay, kalau tengok satu benda tu, you can automatically know that this is it structured, quasi-structured, semi-structured, or the unstructured data. Okay, tapi usually people will say structured and unstructured je. Depends lah. Okay, this is close up. Kalau kata you nak tengok more on the structured data, it's simple lah. Quasi-structured ni is a bit tricky. So you can see that for this one, we can see the info, but it is a bit difficult for us to understand what kind of information we can get from the data. Semi-structured lagi mudah daripada quasi because we can see that, okay, for example dia, we have HTML head, kat mana title, apa semua kan. For unstructured, okay, is a video type. But it can be image, can be also the audio dalam bentuk analog ataupun digital. Okay, so if we look at the evolution of the data, okay, in 1990s, the largest data is a terabyte. Okay, it starts from the kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, and then we have petabytes. In 2010 we have exabytes, and then I think in 2015 zettabyte, 2017, 2018 macam tu yottabyte, and now we have bronto bytes. Okay, so makin lama makin besar since we have all the mediums, we have all the social media, the data yang generated by those machine, social medias, you punya WhatsApp app, all the application from your smartphones, from your tablets, memang apa kata makin lama makin banyak. Okay, that's why now they dah bronto bytes. So in terms of data source, okay, the data can comes from many resources. For example, here we can see that, okay, it can be from medical information where you can get the data from the machine, from the medical report that has been written by the doctors, from the machine machine can be, we have lots of medical machine kan, for example we have MRI, kita ada X-ray, we have the blood processing punya machine. That one is on medical, and we can also get the data from the websites, from the blogs, from the social medias, and then we can also have data from video surveillance, and then from mobile devices, your punya smart devices, and also non-traditional IT devices, but not limited to this one. Okay, depends to the area of business yang you nak handle lah. Okay, for agriculture, you nak ada data from the drone ke apa, semua ada, semua boleh. Okay, you can get. Cuma the type of data tu, it will be different lah from one to another. Okay, let's look at the value of the data. Okay, I'm sure you have heard about this data. Sekarang ni data memang very valuable, and we can see that using a simple data you can generate or you can get other insights. Okay, other insights or other solutions to different problem. For example, here in this example, in these notes, okay, Dr. Rahila have listed 3 industry case studies. Okay, we can see that the first one is a healthcare. Okay, sorry, kita tengok ni dulu. Healthcare is to reduce the cost of care. Okay, for public services where they use the data to prevent the pandemics, and life sciences for genomic mapping. Okay, let's look at the first case study, how data, okay, the simple data can be used for other solution. Okay, here the situation is a poor police response and problems with the medical care triggered by shooting of the Rutgers student, and the event drove local doctor to map crime data and examine local healthcare. So the data has been used to generate the crime map, okay, from the medical billing records of the 3 hospitals. So from the data, okay, the hospital can use it to evaluate. Okay, dia boleh tengok, evaluate, dia boleh check balik whether the service that they offered, the package ke, the prices that they charge for every patient tu macam mana. So you can see here the findings for this case studies says that city hospitals and ER provided expensive care but low quality care. Okay, expensive in terms of cost, but in terms of servicing tu agak low, and the reduced hospital cost by 56% by realizing that 80% of the city's medical costs came from 13% of its resident, mainly low income or elderly. So based on the data yang dia dapat kat atas tu, dia boleh drill down sampai macam tu. Okay, so apa dia buat, dia akan offer better service lah for their residents, for the residents community dekat situ, especially to cater the low income and elderly. Example lagi untuk healthcare, contoh macam you all macam COVID punya situation kan, so based on the numbers, macam-macam, there are lots of things that we can do. Okay, we can derive from the data, from the conclusion, from the findings of the data tu. Kita boleh guna untuk macam-macam apa kata purpose. Okay, for public service, we have the situation where we want to control or prevent the pandemics. So the situation here is to threat of global pandemics has increased exponentially, and the pandemic spreads at faster rates, okay, more resistant to antibiotics, and the data can be used to create a network of viral listening posts and then combine the data from viral discovery in the field, research in disease hotspots and social media trends. And then you can also use data to make accurate prediction on spread of new pandemics. Nampak tak kat sini? Based on the data, macam-macam kita boleh buat. Okay, sama juga macam yang kita ambil yang the latest one lah, yang macam COVID kan, nak the government nak tentukan whether nak buat PKP ke PKPD ke all the PKP tu. So it based on the data, based on the statistics, the daily statistic, the monthly and also yearly statistics. Okay, and then the action, for example kat sini kita boleh identify the fifth form of human malaria and then identify why effort failed to control swine flu and then propose more proactive approaches. So we can, sorry, it's not we, the government can suggest preventive action, okay, untuk control the situation. And for life sciences, the MIT, okay, the Broad Institute mapping the human genome, and then based on the situation, based on the data, they can map the 3 billion genetic base pairs and then develop more than 30 software packages for this genomic data. So it gives lots of benefits lah, okay, to the pharmaceutical area. Okay, banyak lagi dia punya case studies. So nanti saya ada task saya nak bagi dekat you all untuk benda ni. But for now kita continue dulu. Okay, we just continue our lesson. The next one is why data analytics is important. Okay, definitely it is for competitive advantage, where the company, the organization can make profit from the data. Okay, so you can see that according to the Bain research, top performing organizations tend to make decisions based on what their data tells them. So this data can be a sales data or their business performance, maybe the stock markets, prices, orang kata nak tengok dia punya naik turun, the value of the stock markets, and then the employee also can give apa kata, some insights, okay, in order for them to improve their service, dia punya products, or in fact dia punya benefits to their employee. Okay, so that by having those those data, those actions, the company can Allahu Akbar, can improve and then can make more profit. Okay, and then we can see here, this is based on the research. Okay, the total number of respondents is 409, and we can see 53% use the data-driven decision. Okay, 41% where they said that based on the data, it can help them to make a decision much faster, and 47% execute decision as intended most of the time. Okay, we can see that how how the data can help each organization improve dia punya daily activity and daily operation. Okay, the next one is another case study about airlines. Okay, for competitive airlines advantage. So this is about the call center for airlines company. You can see says that call centers can be made more effective and efficient by capitalizing on what the company can know about the caller ahead of time. So basically, if we call the call center, they will ask for your ID, and then for your based on the ID dia akan track satu. Sometimes lambat kan. So by looking at your ID, your booking flights, status of the flights, so dia boleh buat other dia action lah. Okay, so they may be able to determine why you are calling, okay, even before the second ring. And if, okay, just in case if the flight had just been delayed, the representative could answer the phone with a pretty good idea why you are calling. So dia dah boleh detect dah, okay, kenapa orang ni call. Based on the ID, based on the flights, based on the status of the flights yang orang tu book. So dia dah boleh expect what kind of complaints, what kind of reports yang dia akan dapat. Okay, maybe next, based on the ID and also the social media punya account, they can see and they can also identify the problems that facing by their customer. Okay, alamak, azan. Kita tunggu sekejap kita stop sekejap bagi azan lepas.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue our lecture. Okay, next is what's driving the analytics in organizations. Why the company or the organization started to use this data analytics. Okay, sana sini orang bercakap pasal analytics, and then companies start to employ the new employee with data analytics skills. Okay, why? The first one is to optimize their business operations. Definitely, they want to increase the sales the pricing, the profitability, the efficiency of their business. Okay, their business, their products, and also their services. So the second one is they would like to identify business risks. Okay, for example, here what they can do is they can identify the churn customer and then fraud. Um, Contoh macam kalau bank kan, fraud transaction, and then for customer churn tu macam telco company. Nanti kita buatlah ada one of the case study is about customer churn punya case study. So you need to process and you need to do the prediction model for this customer churn. Okay, and then the third one is they would like to predict new business opportunities. Okay, examples, the upsell, cross-sell, best new customer prospects. Whenever they want to expand their business or they would like to produce a new products. So those are the things yang diorang perlukan analytics lah. Okay, especially macam nak buat targeting punya marketing. Because we know that certain users, certain customer, dia ada different type of marketing, okay, marketing strategy. And then the last one is to comply with laws or regulatory requirements. For example, we have anti-money laundering, fair lending, and also Basel II. Okay, kena tengoklah semua benda tu untuk apa kata for their business operations. That's why they need this data analytics. Okay, so when we talk about analytics, okay, it is more than a normal report. So if you look at the normal report, contohlah kalau if you have the sales report, dia cuma keluar graph sahaja. It's a 2D graph and then with all the numbers kan. But when we talk about analytics, it must be more than that. Okay, the numbers tu represent apa? Kenapa numbers tu jadi macam tu? Kenapa numbers tu increase? Kenapa numbers tu decrease? And then when the number increase, when the number decrease, semua benda kena dapat lah, kena macam you need to figure out benda tu based on the data. Okay, so rather than doing standard reporting on these areas, organization can apply advanced analytic techniques to optimize processes and derive more values from these typical tasks. Okay, hopefully you can imagine, okay, normal report, contoh yang on paper tu ataupun dekat PowerPoint slides yang present macam ni je lah. Okay, but for analytics, you need to have a dashboard. Okay, the dashboard must be an interactive dashboard where you can click and you can drill down. Maknanya kat sini kalau kata you nampak macam bar chart tu, you can click on the bar and then you can get other information about the bar. Okay, so the whole chart can tell you so many info. So analytics examine large amounts of data to uncover hidden patterns, correlations, and other insights. So what kind of, contoh kalau kita pakai sales data, okay, you have, let's say 2021 punya sales data from 1st January until 31st of December. So based on the sales punya value tu, sales data dalam setiap hari tu, you boleh tengok, maknanya bila sales tu tinggi, bila sales tu rendah, and then in one day, for one day punya data, bila peak hour yang kita nampak, okay, sales akan tinggi pada waktu sekian. Pada sekian hari, sekian waktu, okay, therefore, the company ataupun the shop can do something lah. Okay, let's say, kalau dia tahu in contohlah hujung bulan sales akan tinggi. Sebab apa? Sebab orang dapat gaji kan. So what they can do is they can stock up their inventory or they can do some sales untuk attract more people. Kalau untuk or they can hire maybe part-timers kalau kata dah terlampau busy sangat, they don't have enough staff. So they can plan for that. Okay. And then this analytics can also help organization to make more accurate decision when faced with problems. Okay, contoh kalau kata sales dia rendah, okay, kenapa? So they need to discover, they need to diagnose why the sales has decreased at certain percentage. And then it also help organization harness their data and use it to identify new opportunities that in turn leads to smarter business move, more efficient operation, higher profits and happier customer. Okay, so based on the data, not only the numbers, the numerical data from the sales report, from the comments ke ratings ke whatever yang didapat daripada customers, they can also get the data from the social media, from the websites, from their Facebook, for example. Okay, they can scrape all the data, they can analyze it and see what kind of comments, what kind of what kind of the things, what kind of the sentiment of their customers. Suka ke tak suka, positif, negatif, kalau positif on which side. Apa yang customer suka tentang dia punya produk, tentang dia punya service. And kalau negatif, okay, apa? So kalau you nak buat sentiment, okay, kenapa? Ingat tak last week saya cakapkan pasal FYP, for those who wants to do the sentiment, please make sure that your sentiment analysis for FYP mesti beyond the class punya project. So those are the things yang you nak kena cover kalau you buat FYP. Kena drill down, tahu dia punya cost setiap apa yang terjadi dekat dalam you punya data tu. Okay, tu yang agak susah lah. People selalu anggap analytics ni macam senang, but no. You have the data, you need to find what are the insights, what are the pattern. Correlation pun another story juga. You have the variables, you need to see the correlation of each variables with your against you punya objective. Kalau kata objective you nak gain nak maximize the profit, so what are the variables need to be considered? Maknanya in order for you to do the prediction model, apa benda yang you perlu? Okay, kita akan ambil variables yang highly correlated. So kalau dia punya correlation dia weak, maybe we can discard it. Tak payahlah ambil kira benda tu, especially when it involve marketing kan. Kalau nak buat marketing, it will involve lots of money, nak involve nak invest untuk buat marketing dekat TV ke, nak buat banner ke, iklan ke, semua melibatkan duit. So that's why they need to use this analytics in order for them to increase their profit tapi reduce the cost. So they will get higher profit and also happier customer lah. Macam contoh kalau you buat sentiment tu kan, you look at what are the criteria ataupun what are the factors yang customer tak suka dekat dia punya service, dekat dia punya products, dekat dia punya company. So dia boleh baiki lah. Okay, improve their service, improve their products ataupun come out with the new products that can satisfy the customer's needs. Okay. So next one is a simple business punya problems lah. Sample tapi simple one. Dia kalau kata you nak ambil yang kalau you nak buat FYP ke apa ke, dia akan lagi more thorough lah. You nak kena evaluate. Okay. So the example that we have here is kalau kata you nak buat untuk identify problems, those are the questions yang kena trigger. Okay, how can we improve on X? So X tu can be mungkin sales, mungkin profit, mungkin macam-macam lah. What's happening real time or trends, and then how can we use analytics to differentiate ourselves with other competitors. Contoh kalau kata you buat contoh macam ni lah saya bagi example dekat you Macam kita bagi Jekyll dengan Gulatis dekat belakang section 7 tu kan. Okay, we can see that Jekyll, they can have macam all the year punya sales. Saya tak tahulah bila masa dia tak ada sales, but kenapa dia boleh buat macam tu? Because they would like to compete with other shops, other brands macam Gulatis. Okay, and apa kata, definitely dia dah tengok dah every consequences, every aspect. Kalau kata dia nak buat sales sekian persen, berapa, how much profit can they make? Okay, dia bukan simply letak 50%, bukan simply letak 70%. Basically, the number of percent tu dia akan berubah-ubah. Ialah kalau nak buat business kan, takkanlah you nak bagi diskaun sepanjang masa, diskaun yang sangat banyak, nanti kan tak boleh make profit pula. And then we can see how can we use analytics to innovate new products, and how can we stay ahead of our biggest competitor. So those are the things that we can we can use lah analytics. Okay, and then the qualifiers for these questions dekat sini. Okay, you can see the time, people, risk, the resources, the size of data that we need to determine ataupun to do all those ni lah untuk buat analytics. Okay, we need data, definitely we need data. Kalau you nak buat predictive models, you have learned in machine learning. Machine learning needs lots of data kan, so you need a large size of data, maybe a big data. Okay, and then you need to identify what kind of analytical approach, what kind of techniques, and this is including key terms, metrics, the data, from what time to the duration of the data, how big your data is, and then the variables of the data. So bila saya cakap variables tu, hopefully you can imagine the columns of the data tu kan, the variables yang tu. Sebab nanti when we have the set of data, we need to do some correlation testing lah, macam you buat dalam data mining. I'm sure you have experienced that, where you need to do feature ranking. Okay, so feature ranking tu dia akan bagi the most correlated one. Okay, dia akan list the most correlated sampai ke maybe not correlate at all. Okay, bergantunglah pada data you. And the example of case study here, we have churn prediction for Yo-Yo Dime Bank. Okay, the objective here is how can we improve the net present value and retention rate of the customer. Okay, satu dia nak improve the NPV, and the other one is to reduce the retention rate of their customers. So time, dia ambil trailing 5 months, and then the people who work with the team or business users from the bank. And then the risk is the project will fail if we cannot determine valid predictors of churn. Mana-mana apa yang you buat, dia mesti ada risk kan. So risk assessment tu kena ada dalam you punya project. And then resources, where you will get all the resources, EDW, Analytics Sandbox, OLTP systems, and many more lah. Okay, we have lots of resources nowadays. And then the data that they use here is 24 months of data, 24 months for training set, and they will analyze another 5 months for testing lah, untuk tengok whether the customers churn ke tak. Okay. And then for analytics, how can they identify the churn or no churn for the customer, and then they can maybe they can start with a small scale dulu before they can implement it in the full scale. Okay, sebab benda ni melibatkan cost. So bila melibatkan course, dia tak boleh nak spend buat full scale terus. So dia akan buat pilot study using a sample population, certain population untuk check, okay, untuk tengok whether the models tu can be implemented ke tidak, berguna ataupun can give benefits, can be used in their business operation ke tidak. Okay, sampai takat ni ada soalan tak? Do you have any or any question, or if you have any opinion you can share with us. You can share with me and you can share with the rest of the class. Saya tahu bulan puasa penat kan, petang-petang ni nak dengar saya bebel-bebel, tapi itulah kenalah juga. Ini je yang teori. I think when we move to chapter 2 dah practical sikit sebab you akan belajar tentang unstructured, and then we will also look at the MongoDB, tengok balik semua macam mana bentuk NoSQL. So it's more fun lah. Ini dia macam cerita je banyak, so you kena bertabah sekejap ya. Ada soalan tak untuk sampai sini?
Just following along je. Memang teori kan. Tengok je lah.
Itulah teori je. Memang nak tak
Hello. Okay, boleh. Doktor, saya ada question.
Yeah.
Boleh ke saya tanya? Right, so tadi doktor dah cakap pasal analytics sandbox. Is it?
Sandbox.
Other than that, apa saya tak dapat catch tadi?
Sorry?
Selain daripada itu, apa lagi tadi saya tak dapat catch?
Kita ada banyak pun resources. So analytics banyak tau. Dia even kalau you nak buat macam prediction kan, sekarang ni dia the sandbox, and then we have tools, banyak lah. Even Malaysia pun dah. Malaysia ada sandbox ke? Ada kan? You pernah dengar tak? Saya rasa ada. Last time saya dengar. And the resources tu can be from many resources. Dia ada from the OLTP punya system. We have the sandbox. You boleh ada analytics tools. And then what else? Banyaklah. Tak terfikir pula saya untuk resources ni, tapi bergantung pada what kind of business, what kind of problems, solutions yang you nak buat. So resources tu dia boleh you boleh ambil lah daripada yang available available dekat dalam bidang ni. Okay. So ini sebab dia pakai overseas punya problems tau. Jadi kalau kata you nak buat Malaysia punya problems, saya tak berapa nak update sikit dalam 2 tahun ni, sebab nak pergi dengan talk ke apa benda macam tak open. Dulu in 2019 kita ada macam talk, we have the seminar, we have the convention untuk big data analytics ni. Banyak lah kita attend, so we can always update our technology. But now saya tak sure company punya resources tu dia ambil daripada mana. Tapi kalau analytics tools untuk buat all the models tu, I think some of the company dia develop by their own. Dia memang dia hire staff yang memang boleh buat, yang memang ada skills, programming skills. They have the knowledge about untuk buat models. Ada juga yang dia tak buat from scratch, but they use the analytics tools because bila dia nak hire macam programmer untuk, bukan programmer, machine learning engineer apa semua tu, sometimes they need to pay a lot kan. So they opt for ambil analytics tools, use analytics tools, and then they send their staff untuk pergi trainings. That one is much more cheaper sebenarnya, sebab analytics tools yang available sekarang ni pun banyak yang free. Kan, ada yang license, ada yang non-license, yang free, yang non-license tu, yang free tu, for example we have Orange, yang license tu ada RapidMiner, quite expensive lah, tapi some of the company memang they are willing to pay for that, kan, invest lah untuk dia punya company profit. So next is, who are the people involved in business data analytics and what is your role? Okay, we will see the people involved in the structure of business data analytics and dekat mana you ada. Jom kita tengok. So first one, we have business user, where we know that business user is one of the key person, okay, the main stakeholder lah dekat sini. Okay, someone who benefit from the end results and then can consult and advise project team on value of end results and how this will be operationalized. Okay, requirements pun kena dapat daripada business users juga. Kalau tidak nanti you buat something yang solution yang you boleh provide, yang you provide tu tak boleh nak solve their problem. So you need to get full requirements from the business user. And then we also have project sponsor, okay, where this project sponsor was responsible for the genesis of the project, provide impetus of the project and core business problem, and basically dia akan melibatkan funding lah. Okay, kalau projek tu besar, but basically kalau kata company tu yang nak buat, then they will sponsor by themselves lah, kan. So project manager is to ensure the key milestone and objective are met on time and at expected quality. Business intelligence analyst, where they will analyze, okay, the requirements, everything lah tentang project tu. Maknanya they will have a deep understanding on the data, the KPI, the key metrics, business intelligence from the reporting perspective. Okay, ni dia punya scope dia very broad, tapi dia mesti dia macam dia more towards business punya side lah. And then not only that, we also have data engineer, where this data engineer has technical skills to assist with tuning the SQL queries or NoSQL queries for data management, extract, support, buat pre-processing, everything. Okay, to the analytic punya sandbox. So that one data engineer, and we also have database administrator. Okay, untuk configure, untuk manage the database yang company tu ada. And then lastly, we have data scientists that can provide subject matter expertise for analytical techniques, data modeling, applying valid analytical techniques to given business problems and ensuring overall analytic objective are met. Panjang sikit punya tu. Okay, so before we move to the next one, okay, you all pernah tengok tak data professional punya rank? Pernah tengok
Rank?
tak the pyramid? The rank.
Tak pernah.
Maknanya tak pernah Sekejap
Tak pernah lagi, Doktor.
So it's actually mana nak conteng ni? Conteng sini lah. Okay. Dia ada I think 4. Okay, tak pernah tengok tak pernah tengok. Tak pernah, you all tahu tak ni?
Tak tahu.
So this is data professional. You all big data kan? So nanti nak kerja, you all akan kerja sebagai data professional, tapi what kind of post? So yang bawah sekali adalah data engineer. This one is data analyst. And this one is data modeler. Right. Mana dia? Okay, sorry. And last kali baru scientist. So nak jadi data scientist tu banyaklah nak kena daki. Okay, basically kalau kata most of our students, you punya senior-senior keluar, dia akan jadi sama ada data engineer ataupun data analyst based on their skills. Tapi ada yang being appointed as a junior data scientist. So satu based on the skills, satu based on the company juga sebenarnya. If you join the big company where they have so many teams, dia akan ada rank ni lah. Tapi kalau you join small company ataupun medium size punya company, most probably dia akan letak you jadi contoh junior data scientist where you need to do everything from data engineer punya tugas, data analyst, modeler sampailah ke data scientist. Okay. So itu dia punya rank. Tapi bukanlah rank macam ni bukan kita nak underestimate yang data engineer ni tak best ke apa benda, tak. Tapi kalau kata in order for you to get the title of data scientist tu, dia kena lalu banyak jalan lah, banyak tangga you nak kena ni. So data scientist ni you need to have a professional certificates, you need to have the skills, the programming skills, the statistical skills, okay, analytical skills, and then kena juga ada storytelling punya ni lah, maknanya you punya soft skill, present, presentation, you nak communicate with people, plus dengan you punya analytical skills, then you akan ada the whole package for data scientist. Okay, so tolong equip yourself untuk dapatkan ni lah, sayang lah sebab you all memang kalau tengokkan you punya plan of studies tu boleh sampai ke sini, sampai ke atas ni. Okay, try to upskill yourself. Ya.
Saya nak tanya, bila equip yourself, what do you mean specifically by that? For example, kalau kita tengok senior banyak yang data analyst ataupun data engineer. So, other than our studies, what are the things that you advise us to equip ourselves specifically?
Okay, just to differentiate yourself and the others kan. So you can go for professional certificates, you can enroll and obtain the professional certificates lah. Contoh lah macam batch you all ni kan ramai ratus-ratus. So apa yang membezakan you dengan yang lain? So if you have the same skills, okay, tapi skills tu susah nak measure kan. Qualification, okay, bila tengok on papers, korang memang pandai-pandai. I tengok you all punya pointers pun memang macam wow. Okay. Pointers nampak lebih kurang, tapi what makes you different from the others adalah you punya skills. Kalau you ada professional certificates, yes. Professional certificates ni sekarang ni dia macam goreng pisang panas dekat luar. Okay, kalau you ada any analytics punya certificates, kalau you ambil even faculty kita pun sekarang tengah promote on Microsoft Azure, is either AI fundamentals, that machine learning punya Azure machine learning kot tak salah saya. And then you can also go for rapid minor certification. Azure Microsoft tu berbayar. Okay, you need to pay. I think quite expensive juga kot dia punya yuran untuk exam. Tapi for rapid minor memang free. Tableau pun ada. So you boleh bila cuti semester tu rajin-rajinlah pergi attend Coursera punya workshop ke Coursera punya courses, online courses banyak sekarang ni. That's why itu yang I maksudkan dengan upskill. Okay. Selain daripada apa yang you belajar dalam kelas ni, during semester break, ada je you punya seniors memang rajin je pergi attend bengkel, trainings, and then they sit for the exams. Ada yang dah certified pun. Okay?
So doktor cakap apa ni? Doktor specifically, is it? Coursera punya courses?
tu one of the
Yep.
famous one lah. Semua orang tengah di Coursera kan.
I see.
But
Faham. Alright.
yang free sebab you all students, unless kalau macam ada certain program yang faculty memang funded benda tu, macam contoh macam Microsoft punya certificates kan, dia ada trainings, faculty bayar, and then faculty ada voucher, dia MOU dengan Microsoft, certain numbers sahaja dia bagi, contoh 300 vouchers untuk ambil exam for the students, for the academics, for the lecturers, untuk pergi trainings, and then ambil exam, and then bila you dah certified, so dalam masa yang sama you dah upskill lah you punya faham tak? Value you tu bila pergi kat luar, you have the Microsoft certificates tu, orang lagi pandang you. That's why saya cakap, I always tell students untuk put effort lah untuk buat benda tu. Saya faham memang nak buat yang Coursera punya program tu macam walaupun dia self-learn kan, you boleh belajar je bila-bila masa, tapi still it requires lots of time. Kadang-kadang tu kacau lah masa rehat, weekend kita kan. But dia akan bagi benefits lah, not now but later, insyaAllah. Okay, terpulang. Benda tu optional bukan compulsory. Kita tak ada cakap 259 kena wajib ambil professional certificates ke apa benda, tak. Tapi kalau you rasa you nak upskill yourself, please do so. Tapi saya personally I would recommend that. Sebab saya dah nampak dah you punya seniors, bukan yang seniors 2-3 semester lepas, tapi yang dah sebelum wujudnya Big Data Track ni pun diorang memang always attend the workshops, the trainings, available trainings yang ada semua diorang masuk, and now diorang dah memang at certain level, certain position dekat dalam company tu. Okay. Ada yang bila you ada skills, you ada certificate, professional certificates tu, for industrial training, ada company yang willing to pay 1,500 pun untuk trainee trainee susah kita nak dapat 1,500, 2,000 tu. Tapi ada yang sanggup bayar sebab skills tu lah. Kalau training selalunya dia orang bayar 500, paling tinggi 1,000 lah. Kalau ni cakap berdasarkan real data, saya sebab I always get feedback from your seniors kan, yang dulu-dulu dia orang cakap memang perlu benda-benda ni dekat industri. Even now pun memang kita always contact with them. Apa lagi kita nak bagi tahu juniors ni, you all ni yang baru-baru tengah belajar ni, apa lagi keperluan yang you boleh tambah selain daripada curriculum yang ada ni, daripada plan of studies. What kind of things, itu yang saya cakap. Dia orang bagi tahu kalau ada professional certificates, kalau you tak pandai programming pun, cuba belajar. You still have time, another year kan. Cuba untuk belajar not Python, try R. Dekat luar memang sekarang orang pakai Python dengan R lah untuk data analytics. Okay, tools ada yang pakai Azure, ada yang pakai RapidMiner untuk visualization, Power BI, semua tu tolong. Kita tak ada specific course yang akan ajar Power BI. RapidMiner adalah yang ni. Tapi again RapidMiner mahal kalau dekat industri. Kalau satu company nak beli, dia memang makan ribu dollars. But if you know how to use RapidMiner or any other analytics tool, datanglah tools mana pun you akan boleh buat, because the fundamental knowledge tu dah ada. Okay, so itu yang saya nak you all buat lah. Bukan untuk saya pun, untuk you all juga. For your own good. Okay. Mungkin sekarang tak nampak lagi, tapi later bila you dah kerja nanti you akan nampak benda tu. Okay, so untuk 259, okay, you can be business intelligence analyst, you can be data engineer. or data scientist. So bergantung pada satu you punya skills, satu kalau ada professional certificates and experience. Okay, the type of project. That's why kalau you nak buat for big data track, kita always recommend students untuk buat something to do with analytics supaya nanti bila you pergi nak minta kerja untuk LI nanti, company sekarang dia dah pandai tahu sebab banyak sangat students kan, dia interview. You need to attend for interview. Dia akan tanya you what kind of projects yang you buat waktu FYP. Kalau you big data track, you claim you adalah big data track tapi you tak buat on data analytics, then tak adalah proof yang kata you memang ada skills untuk data analytics. Okay? Tu dah bebel lain lah tu. Dia bukan bebel ISP610. Dia panjang sikit dia punya bebelan tu. Dia ke depan lagi. Okay. So these are the roles. Kita balik back to our business So this one roles, and then what roles need in the final deliverables. So ini maknanya during, okay, before and during the project. But after that, okay, business user need to see, dia akan tengok, okay, what kind of things. Allah, siapa pula telefon ni? Sekejap, excuse 1 minit, sekejap
Okay.
Okay, so after the project has been completed, so business user need to see whether your proposed solution tu boleh solve tak dia punya problems. Is it good enough? And then what kind of benefits yang dia boleh dapat? Sebab kadang-kadang requirementnya lain. During development, dia akan jadi macam lain sikit, lari sikit daripada objektif asal. But still, kalau kata macam lain sikit, tapi still can give benefits, can produce good results, and then positive implication to the business. So basically, I think the business user will accept je. Okay, project sponsors, they will look at the business impact, the ROI, okay, and then whatever lah yang berkenaan dengan project tu. Maknanya yang relate dengan apa benda yang dia dah contribute at the beginning of the project. And untuk you all kalau kata you all ni, yang tadi kan saya cakap business data intelligence analyst, data engineer, data scientist, so you need to show the analyst presentation. Maknanya daripada awal sampai habis lah. Nanti kita akan belajar the method untuk data analytics, so you akan nampak dia ada specific methodology for data analytics punya development. Kalau you nak buat predictive models, kalau you nak solve certain problem guna data analytics. And then not only analyst presentation, you need to determine if the report will change. Okay, for data engineer, you need to share the code and then create technical document. Sebab dia akan melibatkan dia low rank kan. Semua benda nak buat data pre-processing, nak buat modeling, semua dia akan buat kat situ. And data administrator pun sama juga, share the code and then provide the technical document that related to the database. And then data scientist sama macam business intelligence analyst tadi, tapi dia kena ada bahagian coding lah, sebab data scientist tadi kata dia boleh buat data modeling, apply all the valid analytical techniques. Boleh pakai machine learning, okay, either statistical approach ke, you nak pakai AI approach ke, tak ada masalah dalam analytics ni. So these are the skill set that you need to have. Okay, you need to have the technical, quantitative, curious and creative, communicative and collaborative, and also skeptical. kena ada benda tu. So you boleh buat checklist dah sekarang ni. Tengok, check ada tak semua-semua ni. Yang ni is very important Kena kreatif. Sebab certain problems we can adopt other solution untuk problems tu, tapi kena pandai suai padan lah. Need to be skeptical also untuk setiap solution yang you buat. And then communicative and collaborative sebab we will work in team, so kena pandai how to communicate with the user, how to communicate with the other stakeholders dalam you punya project. So here more explanation about the skills. Quantitative skills, that one will covers mathematics and statistics. Kan, you nak buat correlation, you want to see data tu skewed ke mana, ke kiri, ke kanan. Kalau skewed ke kanan, apa jadi, menunjukkan apa. Kalau skewed ke kiri, represent apa. Those are the things yang nak kena buat dalam analytics. And for technical, such as software engineering, machine learning and programming skills. Software engineering ni katanya you nak dapatkan user requirements. How you need, maybe you need to come up with the specific requirements punya document, and then for machine learning ada solution, ada task, how are you going to come up with the machine learning punya models, and then programming skill, how to execute the machine learning tadi itulah. That's skeptical. Kena macam saya cakap tadi lah, kena skeptical lah bila you tengok satu-satu problems tu. If this is a solution, what will happen? So banyak benda yang you nak kena consider. Curious and creative pun sama juga, kena kreatif in order to provide the solutions. Maknanya data macam ni, solution dia macam mana. Sometimes using the same data, you might have different solution if you have different objective. And communicative and collaborative, you need to have strong quantitative skills, and then need to collaborate with project sponsors and key stakeholders. So this is the last section. The important questions need to ask your customers. The first one is, what is the business problem you are trying to solve? Ini penting. Kalau tidak, you memang takkan boleh solve the problem sebab you takkan faham apa benda ni. So you kena investigate. So usually the business understanding process, I would say the most crucial punya ni, tapi setiap phases tu crucial. But ini kalau salah, maknanya the whole process akan jadi salah juga. So kena identify betul-betul the problems. Then what is your desired outcome? Kena tanya customer, kena tanya client, apa yang dia nak. Sometimes dia cakap benda lain, the requirements benda lain, tapi output dia benda lain. I think it's normal, especially for the non-CS punya stakeholders kan, dia tak tahu apa benda yang sepatutnya, tapi dia tahu apa benda dia nak. So maybe in order for you to understand the business problem, you need to also know about the outcome. Then baru you boleh investigate. So ini yang saya cakap tadi, kreatif tu. Kena kreatif, kena gunalah you punya creative thing untuk untuk investigate more about this. And then will the focus or scope of the problem change if the problem dimension change, about time, people, risk, resources, size and attributes of the data. These are the things yang kita tengok dekat awal-awal tadi. Kena fikir benda ni, because in one project you have the specific time kan, ada timeline yang nak kena follow. Kalau you exceed the timeline, so it will give huge impact to the business. Dia akan bila drag, you punya cost akan tinggi, man hour akan tinggi, semuanya melibatkan money. So people ini kalau out, dia akan ini efek yang ni, dia akan efek yang ni, dia akan efek yang ni. Size of attributes of data tu pun most probably akan boleh efek, sebab bila dia drag data yang you ambil tu, contoh spesifik range of data tu mungkin tak berapa nak valid dah. Okay, bila timeline tu dah ke depan lagi. And then what data sources do you have? What industry issues may impact the analysis, the timeline, the insights, okay, who could provide insights, maknanya selain daripada user tu, who else that can give more info, more insights about the project. And then who has the final say on the project. Siapa yang akan cakap, okay, that's it, dah betul dah, this is what we want. Okay, siapa yang akan cakap, yang akan put the full stop dekat project tu. Okay, group discussion. Okay, think about business process that interests you and answer the given question. Okay, ini group discussion tapi saya nak bagi juga, okay, one simple task. Maybe you can find one real case study, okay, on analytics. Macam yang tadi saya tunjuk yang healthcare, we have seen the apa nama yang atas ni? Sini, healthcare, public services, life sciences. Maybe you can find one case study untuk one area sahaja. Saya tak nak banyak-banyak. Meaning that you nak buat dalam group pun boleh, you nak discuss dalam group ataupun you nak buat individual pun boleh. Tapi saya recommend buat dalam group lah, kot senang sebab you boleh discuss kan. And then try to look at every aspect yang kita dah tengok dekat dalam ni. Okay. Boleh?
Boleh, Doktor.
Boleh, Doktor.
Okay. After this, I will give a proper proper instructions for that task, assignment lah. Tapi bukan assignment ni not tak masuk dekat dalam, tak ada contribute any percentage, but untuk final exam sometimes dia akan keluar this kind of question. So kalau you buat waktu ni awal-awal, so you boleh, it will give ideas lah untuk you jawab final exam nanti. Okay, so yeah, do you have any question? Dah 5 suku, saya hari tu you all cakap nak pergi bazar Ramadan lah apa benda kan. Ada soalan tak? Kalau tak ada soalan, saya nak stop. But we can discuss during lab. Kalau you ada soalan lah, kalau tak ada soalan, you can continue doing the exercise tu.
Tak ada soalan tapi boleh ke saya PM Doktor depan ni?
Boleh. Is it regarding FYP?
Yes.
Okay, FYP kan, saya nak tunjuk dekat you all lah. Saya bukan tak nak tahu, saya kesian bila ramai-ramai sangat datang PM tu kan. Saya bukan tak nak tolong you all, tapi mari saya tunjuk dekat you all Ni list of supervision yang saya dah ada untuk CSP 650. So CSP 600, kalau you nak, hari tu ada a few yang saya kata, okay, if you want me to be your supervisor, you need to provide me you punya project description kan. Ada yang dah bagi, minta maaf sangat-sangat sebab saya tak sempat nak baca lagi, but I'll try to read it by this week dan saya akan bagi jawapan dekat you all. But saya rasa yang saya dah cakap minta project description tu usually most probably saya akan cakap iyalah. Saya tak tolak selalunya kalau yang mana saya dah minta project description tu. So I think I have asked a few, 6-7 orang yang PM hari ni tu itulah. Nak cakap pun tak berani. Tapi what we can do is maybe you can have other lecturer to be your main supervisor. Saya boleh jadi co. Because this semester I think Dr. Azliza Mendeno Zaidah ada cakap you can have apa kata main supervisor daripada cawangan. Daripada Kedah tak salah saya. Nanti saya rasa nanti lecturer you akan cakap lah kot, ataupun dia dah cakap, saya tak sure yang tu, tapi ya, kalau kata you dapat lecturer daripada cawangan, you nak saya jadi kod, insya-Allah. Okay, tapi tengok pada list yang ada ni tak masuk bawah lagi bawah yang apa kata postgraduate tu lain cerita. Ini undergraduate sahaja. Saya boleh ambil sampai 9 orang, tak ada masalah, but you kena tolong saya. Okay, you kena tolong saya untuk saya tolong you. Faham tak? So siapa yang saya dah minta project description tu, tolong create group and tolong invite saya dekat dalam tu. Saya pun dah lost track dah sebab message banyak sangat. This semester saya ada 200 lebih students, 250 kot. Jadi message yang masuk dalam WhatsApp tu bertalu-talu dengan subjek-subjek lain lah, bukan kata untuk FYP saja. Tapi tolong create. Kalau kata you nak, bolehlah nak PM tepi. Kita tengok macam mana. Saya pun tak ingat berapa orang dah yang saya dah cakap ya tu. Bukan cakap ya. Yang saya dah minta project description tu, saya rasa dalam 7 orang kot. So bolehlah nak consider lagi seorang dua macam tu. But depends pada tajuk yang you nak propose. Okay? And bukan untuk saya je, tapi untuk orang lain juga. Bila you nak approach supervisors, this is my advice you fikir siap-siap tajuk apa you nak buat, you prepare some description, think about problem. Okay, mungkin saya faham sebab ini baru lagi kan, you mungkin tak dapat lagi buat solid problem statement, tak apa, just macam fikir okay, what kind of problem yang trigger you untuk come out with the topic, and then who will get the benefits of your project. Maknanya kita nak tengok significance. Kalau kata it give project you significant enough, can give some impact to the certain community, certain group of people, then insya-Allah tak ada masalah. Sebab those are the things yang examiners akan tanya hujung semester nanti. Okay, fikir benda tu. Maknanya you tahu, kalau you tak dapat nak come out with the objective, saya faham. You all tak belajar lagi objektif, tapi you ada output. Apa benda, macam mana you punya project tu. Maknanya the end product of the project. Cakap perlu tak betul puasa-puasa ni kan. End product of the project, so you pergi cakap dengan you punya potential supervisors tu. So I think if you have those kind of information, tak ada masalah pun. Sebab sekarang ni saya rasa most of the lecturers ada yang dah full quota kan. But kena tunjuk jugalah if you are willing to to work with lecturers yang dah penuh quota with less ataupun minimal supervision, then okay lah, I think should be okay. Okay, so itu saya punya pesanan untuk buat FYP. Make sure you ada proper. Kadang-kadang saya faham students, saya ada title madam tapi saya tak tahu saya nak buat macam mana. Kena fikir sikit lah. Sebab you tak boleh nak pergi bawa tajuk tu, pergi bagi you punya potential supervisor ataupun supervisor you fikirkan, because this is your project. Okay? Nak brainstorm boleh, tak ada masalah, tapi at least the idea tu comes from you. Boleh So siapa nak PM saya tepi, sila PM tepi. Okay, I think that's all for today.
Doktor,
boleh.
Doktor saya nak tanya boleh tak?
Boleh.
Saya tertarik dengan pesanan doktor tadi. Doktor cakap kalau FYP tu you tak ada analitik, betul? Macam tak macam signify that you are from big data, betul? Kan contoh.
Yes, yeah.
Alright, so what if
Bukan tak boleh langsung, boleh. Kalau you buat dalam machine learning tu, machine learning is part of analytics kan. You boleh you boleh channelkan you punya project tu towards predictive analytics.
I see.
Maybe you are not covering the whole set of analytics, but you only pick one type of analytics. I think kalau kata nanti supervisor boleh tolonglah untuk channelkan benda tu. Nanti saya tak ingat chapter mana, memang we have 4 types of analytics. So when I said analytics tu, maybe you can do descriptive analytics, maknanya tak melibatkan development but you are doing research kan, research based. Maybe tengok descriptive, tengok diagnostic analytics. For those yang nak buat development, guna machine learning, everything, you boleh buat predictive analytics. Maybe for those yang macam boleh buat lagi, habis cepat buat modelling and then nak extend buat prescriptive analytics, lagi cantik. So kalau rasa macam tak naklah saya nak buat predictive je, okay fine, buatlah predictive analytics.
Okay,
Faham
doktor?
tak? Dia
Faham.
ada, dia ada arts dia tahu untuk buat benda-benda ni. Ni based on the experience jugalah. Saya dulu saya jaga 600, saya jaga 650. So I dah nampak banyak style lah. Kalau kata nak channel, boleh. Kita boleh channelkan je jadi analytics. Tak ada masalah. Sebab you all memang dalam AI pun, dalam intelligence system. Memang one of the component, the core component untuk data analytics. So bila ada core components tu, you tambah sikit dah jadi analytics dah. Okay?
Boleh doktor. Thank you so much doktor.
Korang boleh, I tengok dah result korang. Cantik je last semester. Takut pula I tengok result you all. Okay, so yeah, dah almost 5:30. You all